Hi everybody, Tina here with Two Chicks and a Cricket, and as you can hear, I'm still recovering from being sick, but I wanted to do a video for you guys. This is all the stuff that I'm going to be using. Can you believe it? It's a lot. I'm going to be doing some little treat holders for my husband's work, and so I'm going to be using two different stamp sets. Well, three actually, because we're going to be making a little treat holder that's going to hold jelly beans, and then we're going to be making a 3x3 card to go with it. So I'm going to be using these two stamp sets, and then this Stampin' Up! Stamp, and then I used my Cricut. I just used my Gypsy, and I cut these scallop circles out. I'm making 30 of these, so I used my Gypsy and I cut out 30 scalloped circles, and then I cut out little circles to go in the middle of this, and the circle was like 2.90, so it would fit on it. But you could use a punch, like if you had the Stampin' Up! Punches, you could use that. So then also I'm going to use this Stampin' Up! This is the Trio Flower, I believe it's called, punch, and then also this border punch. So let's get started. I'm going to show you guys what I did. Okay, the first thing that I did is I just went through my paper, all of my scrapbook paper, and I just got some random orange paper. So I think my favorite one is going to be this one. I think this is going to turn out the cutest. So I went through and I picked a bunch of orange paper. We're going to do this one right here. And I cut these at 5.5 by 6, I think. Let's measure. I got all my supplies together. So one is 6 inches. Yeah, 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter. So from a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper, you can get 4 of these. So I didn't have enough to do matching, so I just got some different oranges. So the first thing I'm going to do is, like my little spot, that's acrylic. It's white acrylic powder from doing my nails. Now I have to get a new mat. Just ignore that. Okay, so then the other thing I did is I had some green paper with polka dots, and I cut this at a quarter inch strips, and then they're cut at 3 inches. And I did one on my trimmer, and then I just took a bunch of them and held them together and snipped them with my scissors. It seemed to go faster. So, but that's the pattern paper you're going to need. So what you're going to do on this, let's just move that over. Okay, so what you're going to need for this, I'm going to use my hot glue gun for some of this thicker paper, like this paper and this paper are really, really thick. This paper is a little bit more thin. And so what you're going to do is we're going to be making sour cream type containers, and you're going to put 1 strip of adhesive right on the outside, and then 1 strip of adhesive on the bottom. Now if you have an ATG gun, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try to line up your adhesive right on the edge so that, and go very straight. If you have sticky strip, that would be good too, and you want to get it right on the edge of your page. So now that you have it, what you're going to do, let's zoom in. Okay, so what you're going to do is, I found that it's easier to line up your paper, and it'll stick at the bottom. Line up your paper where your adhesive is, and then take the adhesive part and fold it over. Then you can pinch the bottom together so you have an item that looks like this. Okay, it's a little flat down here, but that's going to be okay, because then what you're going to want to do, let me clean my scoreboard off. If you had a crimper, you could do this part with a crimper. I don't have a crimper. I've never seen it necessary to have one. So here's my scoreboard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here at the edge. I'm going to line it up. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to put some score marks, like 3 of them. Or 4. So that's going to give you a nice, I don't know if you can really tell. Yeah, you can sort of tell. A nice scored bottom. It's going to help that adhesive stay together a little bit better. So now you have your little container. I have filled my bags of candy now. So what I did is I just got I got 2 different kinds of jelly beans, and I just wanted something that looked like Easter eggs. So I got some in the Starbursts jelly beans that are smaller, and then I got some classic jelly beans that are a little bit bigger. There we go. Alright, so then you're going to pinch the top of it together. So after you get your candy in there, and you want to put it in your bag where your bag can be, so you don't want to fold it like this and make it flat, because that's not going to look like a carrot. You want to be able to put it like this so it looks like a carrot. Like a little sour cream container. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick a staple right there in the middle. And I already told my husband just to tell the people he works with, just to tell them that they can just rip the bag open. It's totally fine. Alright, so now I have these, and this is going to be the top. This is going to be the grass part of the carrot, and it's going to go on here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some ATG adhesive right on the lip. And then you're just going to, I've done this when I did a test one last night, and it seemed to work better if I did 2 layers of adhesive and grass. So after you do that, and we're going to cover this part up, so it's no worries. And it's just as much that you like. I mean, you could just do a few, I guess, if you wanted. Okay, so probably that's good. We need to go out a little bit farther. Okay, so then you're just going to take your nail and curl these. You don't want to pull too hard. You don't want to rip your paper. And then what I've done on them is you can take a pair of scissors and just snip them all different. You can just snip them down the middle. You can snip them a couple times, all different lengths. This you just want to be really uneven with. You don't want it to be perfect. Hard to believe, huh? And then so you're just gonna want it to, like, you know, okay. So next, you're going to take one of these Happy Easters that we've made, and you're going to put it right on there. Have cut out 3-inch scallop circles and then 2.9 regular circles. And all I did was I put these together. I did blue and yellow for the middle of these, so I did half and half. And then I took a stamp from my pink stamper. She has this one that says Happy Easter. I took some black ink and stamped Happy Easter right in the middle there. Then I took my paper piercer and my little, I have the matte stack, I think it's called, from Stampin' Up, and then I punched out a bunch of these flowers. There's 3 all together on this punch. So I punched out half in pink and half in yellow, and then I punched out a full set. So I punched out 30 pink, 15 blue, and 15 yellow. Then I'm just using this adhesive, and on the blue, the circles that are blue, I put a yellow flower. I used the pattern paper that I used was my Stampin' Up! Designer Series, the stacks, and I used the out of the settles. And so because this is striped, the other side of my paper is a different design, so I'm just putting 2 flowers on here like that. So for this, I'll probably use hot glue for this too. For right now, I think I will use glue dots because they're pretty strong. And then what I've done before you stick that on is, I think I will be taking, this is just some 1/8 grosgrain white ribbon. Carrot. So now I wanted to show you guys the 3x3 card that I'm gonna make. I just chose to use some plain white cardstock, and all you're gonna do is you're going to cut this at 3 inches by 6 inches. Paper at 3 inches by 6 inches. I'm folding that in half. And because I wanted something very simple, what I chose to do is I used just some of that designer paper from Stampin' Up! That I did the circles and the flowers with, and I just cut strips at I think this is a 2-inch strip right here. So this would be 2 by 3, but you could do 3 by 3. I just wanted something at the bottom. And then I took my border punch so then I just took my strip. I think for my other ones it was a 3-inch by 3-inch strip, and I just put it right at the bottom. I didn't do any kind of inking or anything like that because I had too many of them to do, and this process is already a lot. So then I'm going to snip. This was a little bit longer than I meant it to be, so I'm just going to snip it off. Then I have this stamp from Stampin' Up! He has risen. I'm going to use my black ink pad. You could see my desk right now. It is a disaster. It is driving me crazy. Okay, so I'm going to use this stamp. And I'm just going to stamp right in the front, just like that. Then, on the inside, I'm going to have all these stamps to clean. Ooh, okay. Okay, so then I'm going to use Mary's from Cardz TV, her Easter Blessings, and there is a stamp on here that says, I used it on one of my Easter cards for I Know My Redeemer Lives. And I'm putting that right inside. And then I'll just write, have a happy Easter, and then our names. I'm just grabbing a wipe really quick. And I'll show you. I'm just cleaning my stamp. Okay, so I'll show you guys the finished product. So I have our little cards. It's stamped and then I just signed it. And then I have all of my circles all done. And I'll just take and fold all these and make all these carrots. So that's what we'll give out. We'll give out a little carrot. My kids love when we go to Daddy's work and they get to hand stuff out, and he works at a supermarket, so I do enough to give one to everybody who's working that day. And they'll just pass them out and we'll give them a little card and a little carrot full of candy. So that is my Easter project, and I'm so super excited. It's fun making them. I'm kind of overwhelmed because I have 29 more to make, but it'll be okay. I always do this to myself. I think, oh, that'll be so cool. And then I start doing it and I think, what did I get myself into? So I'll take a picture of this, you guys, and I'll put it in this post with all the things I used to make these. And I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me make these. Thanks for stopping by the vlog today, guys.